Hi, I'm Katie Wedd. I teach kindergarten at Pleasant Valley Elementary School.
My name is Barrett Ragsdale, and I teach social sciences at Spring Garden School.
Hello, my name is Matthew Ross. I teach physical education at Brooks Elementary in Noonan, Georgia. We are group number 3, and this is our diversity curriculum outline. We started off our presentation with a professional development activity. We introduced to our participants a gender identity activity that we had 30 participants. Half were male, half were female. We had 10 black, we had 10 white, and we had 10 Hispanic participants. Each participant was given a card. On one side of the card it had the word yes, and on the other side it had the word no. And the participants were asked a variety of questions, and they were supposed to hold up the card whether their answer was yes or their answer was no. The questions were detailed for if they were the opposite sex or an opposite race. So a white person would pretend to be a black person, or male pretend to be a female. So it's all about gender identity. We would come after each question and talk to them about the reason why they answered certain things or certain questions the way that they did, because those answers could be harmful to somebody of a different religion or of a different race or a different gender, or they could be viewed as respected and nice. So this is our first professional development activity. We then moved into our differences in genders. There's a variety of differences in genders, male versus female. We noticed in the book that it spoke about appearance, outward appearance. Girls tend to have longer hair, boys tend to have shorter hair. Does that mean that's always going to be the case for males or females? Absolutely not. Obviously, bodily changes, as you can see, Amadi, Harani, and Yosafa mentioned in their article that women tend to be skinnier and men tend to be muscular. Does that mean that's always going to be true? Again, no, that doesn't mean that's always going to be true. Men can be skinny, women can be more muscular. It's just all about body size and differences. Outfits and grooming behaviors were also another difference that we noticed in genders. Girls tend to wear dresses, skirts. Boys tend to wear shorts or maybe pants. Does that mean that's obviously always true? No. Again, they can go. Boys can wear different things, and girls as well. Discussion matters, conversations. And when you talk to females, they usually tend to talk about different objectives or matters than boys do. And then forms of activity or play. This is for academics, this is for athletics. Females tend to be more calm in their athletic setting or under control, and boys tend to be more crazy or noisy when they play outside. We then spoke about social differences. We noticed that boys tend to be better at math from the book, and girls tend to be better at reading. Again, boys can be better at reading than girls, and girls could obviously be better at math. That's just one social difference that we noticed. Another statistic or data that we noticed are boys are more likely to need one-on-one instruction from their teacher, individual activities, or maybe hands-on learning, while girls tend to do better in a group setting or with peers involved, whatever they're doing in the classroom. Students also taught gender characteristics when they're younger, when they're prematurely before they reach schooling, such as what they're allowed to wear, such as the equipment or the resources that they can use, and such as books or movies that they can watch or read. The roles of the media play a huge role, especially social media, TV, attractiveness, beauty, things like that, and heroes. Some of these are realistic, some of these are not realistic, and students need to be aware of those, as that's the social difference that we noticed. Socialization influences, their approaches or moral beliefs, values, things like that. Those are definitely dealing with social differences. And then battling certain gender categories. Bias should never be in school. Teachers should never allow bias, but sometimes it does happen because of social differences. And then we moved on to gender identity. Again, we spoke about the professional development activity that was at the beginning. We learned more about masculinity versus femininity. Masculinity dealt with what certain things such as power, such as control, such as working hard. This is what the book spoke about. Femininity spoke more about women being nurturing or women being at home with the kids and things like that. And ethnicity and religion can play an effect in certain gender identities. People are obviously born certain places. They believe in what they believe in, and these shouldn't be having to be altered or changed because of a person's identity. And then gender versus transgender. Gender is what you are when you were born, whether you're a male, whether you're a female. Transgender is, even though you are a male, you would rather be a female or vice versa.
The next portion of our presentation is going to cover the cost of sexism. Sexism is the belief that males are superior than females. We continue to see an overrepresentation of women in jobs that are considered to be traditional female occupations. The top 3 jobs, according to Golnick and Chin, 2017, were speech pathologist, kindergarten teacher, and a dental hygienist. This is alarming because women are still being constrained to jobs that we think that are just for women or predominantly for women. But it's alarming because women are finishing high school and college at a more rapid pace than their male counterparts. Many jobs that females are forced to take because of this sexist viewpoint offer little to no career advancement. Gaps have closed in these jobs. For instance, in 1950, out of all the doctors in the United States, only 6.5% were women. In 2014, 37% were women. 1950, there were only 4% female lawyers in the country. Now there are 32%. So this gap in employment has been closed, but it is still rather wide. It does go both ways. It doesn't just go for the females in this gap. Men also experience these kind of gaps in professions that we deem as strictly as female professions. For instance, nurses. Today, there's only 6% of nurses that are males, and social workers is another gap that experiences a wide gender gap. Only 18% of social workers are male. The second thing that we see the cost of sexism is income, as the chart here represents. Men and women can hold the same job, but have a rather different salary. Coming out of college within the first year, women are generally only making 82% of what their male counterpart makes, and this gap widens at 10 years. Females are only making 69% of what their male counterparts make. This is according to Day and Hill, 2007. Another area that is a cost of sexism is sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is defined as unwanted and unwelcome sexual behavior that includes verbal, physical, visual, or physical abuse. The majority of recipients are women. However, this is not strictly limited to women. Boys or men, girls and women all experience sexual harassment. These actions are often learned or encouraged, and what it means by that is oftentimes, for instance, boys take part in sexual harassment because they are like in middle school age trying to prove their masculinity, or particularly maybe hiding some of their insecurities. And these numbers are skewed because the lack of reporting. Many times people will feel uncomfortable talking to their maybe the teacher or boss about these sexual harassment issues. So the numbers that are reported are skewed.
One huge movement in education was the Educational Amendment of Public Law 92-318. This is Title IX. It was passed in 1972, and according to the U.S. Department of Justice, the main objective of Title IX is to avoid the use of any federal money to support sex discrimination in education programs. So this This provides citizens with any kind of protection against practices that could possibly discriminate between a male and a female. So one big thing in education today is a movement for non-sexist education. This means that both genders are treated fairly in the classroom. They should be treated as equals. They get equal instruction, teacher interaction, and they have equality in their extracurricular activities. Teachers should include books and literature by female and male authors, and have bulletin boards and displays on both famous males and females, just to kind of equalize this in the classroom. So this would be our exit activity. So after we kind of talked about all these things with for our session, this is what we would do to have our group to take a sticky note and a pencil and to write down any kinds of questions or concerns that they still had about gender inequality in the specific school. So it would kind of give a time to be able to discuss those things, and then to place the sticky note on the poster by the exit. And these are our references. Thank you.